maybe a fitting partner story here, Jay, to this Nikola truck scenario is there is a manufacturer of, I'm not going to do them justice here, but truck axles among other things. Mm-hmm. And I'm a little fond. I have a certain fondness for these guys. Okay,
right.
This is really cool. Like, this is forward thinking. This is innovative. This is the exemplary of the things that you and I are big fans of that we always talk about. They're pushing the envelope, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So a little known company. It's called SAF-Holland. They're a global company. They do have facilities here in the United States. And they're just not the automotive name that you hear in the headlines every week. They're more into heavy load type manufacturing.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They are working on an electric axle. Now, oh man, there's so many. Okay, so there's a lot of little cool intricacies to this thing that if even half of them, if it partially comes to fruition, it's going to be a game changer. Right?
Yes, it will be. It will be. And this is why we've talked about the Nikola battery electric vehicle.
Yeah.
And so pay attention here, folks.
Okay. So first of all, now there's an environmental aspect to this. You know, you may care, you may not care, but I will say this. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So for those of you that are out there posting your memes of the lithium mines talking about how battery electric vehicles are harming the planet, when someone makes an attempt to be conscious of that, it would be wise of you to embrace that so that we basically take a step in the right direction from a sustainability standpoint. So
good point.
They're saying that these axles are rare earth free. Okay. So what that means in layman's terms that I understood, correct me here, Jay, is they're not doing as much damage to the planet by mining that you would from something that isn't rare earth free, right?
Absolutely correct. That is absolutely 100% correct. They're conscious of the environment in building this next generation trailer, with in mind that is the direction that the industry is moving.
Yeah. To
battery electric. You know, with the Tesla semi.
Yeah.
The Nikola TRAKr, all these, this fits right into the pocket of those
but they
guys.
didn't stop there. They didn't say like, well, we're just going to do, you know, an electric axle that will work with these battery electric trucks. They said, well, what's the whole reason behind this? Let's think another couple steps down the road, and let's build it to reflect those needs too. So the sustainability thing, if I can get that word out, is a cool part of it. Now, this is called it's a concept right now. It's called the TRAKr, TRAKr. Okay, I think I'm saying that right.
You are, yes.
It has a recuperative aspect to it. So if you think about a Tesla, there's different levels of regenerative mode that you can turn on. Basically, the higher you set that, the more like assisted braking it does. You can feel it. Like it slows you down faster, and it recovers energy through the axles. So they're putting that on this as well. And here's where that gets really interesting, because they're envisioning this being used in like refrigeration trucks and things that need power. Okay. Well, to prevent pulling that power off of the actual truck itself, meaning, you know, that those trucks are probably going to be battery powered, they're building a generator system and a recovery system in the trailer so it can at least partially sustain itself. Right,
which is very similar to some of the things that Airstream has done. They're working on their Airstream EV trailers, and then also Living Vehicles Pro EV. We did a video on both of those guys. Both of them in 2021. The Airstream EV trailer was in March of 2021, and then the Living Vehicles Pro EV was in October of 21. So go check those out over on our youtube.com /Parts County Gurus for those videos. So this is where this all kind of plays in. So the refrigerated units, for those of you want to know how important this is specifically for that, is refrigeration is key to success in obviously refrigerated goods, keeping goods cold.
Groceries.
How do you do that? You have to have a constantly running
beer
refrigeration.
I mean, let's just get right to the heart of the matter here, okay?
Yeah. Well, hey, Bert carried some beer across country. Didn't
right.
I hate to say I told you so.
There you go. Right.
There you go.
Coors,
so,
if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So these reefer units, they are small diesel engines. Most of them,
it's a generator. Yeah.
Right. If you go look at a refrigerated truck right now on the front of that trailer, or refrigerated trailer, I should say. If you look on the front of that trailer, you'll see mounted on the very top side of that, you'll see the words Thermo King.
And
Thermo
it's a
King
rectangular.
Right. They are it's a very small diesel generator that just continuously runs.
Yeah.
Continuously runs. So this in itself, for the environment's sake, this is a huge step in the right direction, eliminating some of that stuff.
And it's quieter.
It's
right?
much quieter.
So
can you imagine, hey, speaking of quieter, can you imagine being a truck driver that you have to go sleep, right? And then you don't have this thing just like run.
What are you going to do? Like that's what I love about our RV is when I'm running the generator, it kind of that white noise, man.
That white noise, yeah. So that might actually drive some people crazy unless of course there's an app for that. So there you go.
Yeah. So now this is a partnership. The generator portion is being done by a company called AEM, which I think stands for Advanced Electric Machines.
That's correct.
And let's see, this product that we're talking about that's basically the electric generator is AEM's HDS MR 150. So they're figuring out a way to make these things work together. Basically, the truck axles are going to transfer power to a temporary battery, probably lithium, and then it will store that battery, and the generator itself will either pull power off of that or put power back on it.
Yes.
All for the intent of refrigeration, or if, it's not limited to just refrigeration, but that's a good application.
I would have loved to have been in the meeting when SAF approached AEM, because Keith and I, there had to be some excitement in the room, because these guys, they were founded in 2017. Mm-hmm. They established a multidisciplinary team with world-class expertise in design and manufacture. The CEO's name is James Widmer, and CTO is Andy Steven. Their vision is to design and build the world's most sustainable electric motors for the global automotive and transport industries to ensure sustainable, efficient, and cost-effective solutions. Holy cow!
They pull this off. They're a leader in the transportation business.
Absolutely. Right? That is why I said if I am in that meeting
for the next decade,
I would be like, this is huge.
Yeah.
Because this is the direction we're going. But most importantly here is that SAF-Holland had the mind to realize we need to go to somebody who specializes in this to partner with them. And that is, again, what some of your auto manufacturers have done with some of their onboard technology. Instead of them trying to create it, they're going to go harness the technology from someone who's already developing this stuff. So it makes sense.
I'll say this in closing on this subject. I think the thing that you're not saying that we both recognize is there is a certain mindset right now in the automotive industry that hates EVs.
Yes.
And they are willing to, they just want them to go away. And they think they're stupid, and they think that it's a bunch of hype, and they may be right. I don't know, right? Like, I don't know that they're necessarily greener. Okay, when you consider what are you going to do with the batteries, what are you going to do, where does your electricity come from, all those things. I don't know. I'm not an expert on all that. But here's what I do know. They're not going away. It's been mandated in a lot of countries and in a lot of states here in the United States that we are going in that direction. The automotive manufacturers themselves have said we will be all electric by, in GM's case, it was 2030 or 2035?
2035, yeah. So
this is not something that you can argue away at this point. It is the equivalent of sticking your head back in the sand, and I just think that's a mistake. And we see a lot of that. We see that in groups where they just basically they're threatened. I get it. Their industry is threatened, but you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you're going to die. And what they have done here is they've looked at the landscape and they've said, how do we stay relevant for the next 10 years? And this is one of those potential opportunities that they have found. This
is it. I hats off to these guys for doing this. Then next thing you know, there's going to be people coming out of the woodwork. They're going to there'll be more startup companies that are doing the same thing. People talk about this stealing your jobs. That's not happening. Jobs are not getting stolen. Jobs are getting created. It's people being innovative and changing with the times. You have to do that to be relevant, and this is the finest example of that. And so hats off to these guys, no doubt about it.
And you guys at Hall, look, hey, when you get more information, if you want to do some sort of we're happy to put you on, and we can talk in detail when you can share more information, because this is fascinating. And I think
it is fascinating. So
we're not the only two people here that think that.
Absolutely. So good luck with that, guys.